All right. This is Inside the Mind with Dewey Fan from Upsetty Spaghetti. Tell me about yourself and what your role is on UPS, Dewey.
Thank you so much. My name is Dewey Fan. I'm the entry slash opera slash support slash fragger for UPS. And yeah, thank you for having me.
So you do a little bit of everything on that team, then it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm like I kind of, you know, when they need me to do something, I just kind of do it and carry them. So
So you'd say you're the backbone of the team.
yeah, I'm like the emotional support backbone of the team kind of thing.
There you go. All right. Killer question. Who is Dewey and why are you a fan?
Dewey is a character from Scream. He's the police officer, and I'm a fan because he's the best character in the movie. So
From Scream, you said?
yeah, you the the movie with the ghost guy, Ghostface.
I'm familiar with the Ghostface guy.
Yeah,
But
so you know Dewey.
no, I've never watched that the movie front to back there before. So
Oh my god,
I can't say that I'm a huge fan of Dewey.
it's like probably the best Halloween movie ever made. So
Some people might beg to differ there.
I mean, they'd be wrong. So
All right. So, what are your current plans for your team, if you have
um,
any?
yeah, we're not really exactly sure. We did pretty well last season, but it's also kind of hard coming off of the first recruit season where we won. So not even making it to finals was a little bit tough. So I think we're just kind of trying to figure out how we can keep getting better and improving and get the chip again.
You guys went to semifinals.
Yes.
So you guys were up there. You guys were competitive all the way through, but it looks like Sav took you guys out of semifinals and went on to FRG. What kind of goals do you guys have in mind, or what you guys would like to accomplish this upcoming season here?
I think probably my biggest goal is just for a little bit more organization in the team. I think we were just like really good players overall, but we never had really set roles for anything. So we never really went through and said, okay, this person's going to be throwing support. Usually it was just Colney, but this person we support, this person will entry, that kind of thing. We started to towards the end because we realized, it was probably not the best, but that was definitely our biggest weakness. It's just our lack of organization, basically.
So on the team, it's you, Dewey Fan, Coldney, Crink, Cash Money, and Pindy J. Um, when I got signed to UPS at the preseason there. I think it was between me and Crink, to be honest, and I think you guys boiled down and went with Crink. Was Cash Money there from the start, or did you guys pick him up later on in the season?
Well, we picked Cash up later in the season.
Okay, who did he replace?
MNX was his replacement.
MNX. That's right. What caused that switch or replacement to happen there?
I think he just had like a little bit of a difficult transition with CS2. I think all operas did, and I think just with his play style, it really hurt him a lot, and that was kind of the main reason. Yeah, and we wanted somebody. Yeah, I mean that was probably the biggest reason. I think if we were still in CS:GO, I think he'd still be on our team and balling out because I love the guy. Dude, he's so much fun to play with. But
Yeah, I remember preseason was CS:GO, and then it switched to CS2. Yeah, I remember MNX being a really good opper. Yeah, that's unfortunate that CS2 kind of threw a wrench in everybody's plans, like I've mentioned in the past there.
yeah,
Um, with this upcoming season, we had just talked about a late roster change. Do you see any roster changes coming in the near future with the next season coming up, or are you currently happy with your team that you have now?
I'm sure there will be some changes. Some people will get moved up. I don't know if people are staying or not, and we need at least four, or we need only four, so we'd have to get rid of somebody. So there will be a roster change at the very least, but yeah, that's really just dependent on numbers and kind of where we are at the beginning of preseason.
Yeah. So at the moment, you guys are just planning on obviously having to drop one person if nobody moves up.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I think we have we had a great team, and I think if we just were able to play with each other a little bit more and kind of get
Like you said,
nail some things
organization.
down. Yeah, if we just nailed a few things down that we were lacking, I think we'd be a great team. So
With that question about roster changes and you having to drop at least one person, did you guys have anybody specifically in mind, a free agent or possibly a signed player that you guys might want to bring on to the Upsetty Spaghetti side?
no, I think with Tino especially, it's very much like he's aware of who could be a good pickup and who not to, but he's also aware that the most important thing is if they actually fit on the team numbers wise. So I'm sure that he has things in mind, and I've talked to Rask before he stepped down, but I don't know if he actually read it. I think really it's like you can make recommendations, but unless you actually see what people's MMR is, you can't really say you're going to pick somebody up or not.
That's true. That's true. That's fair. So you are a little bit of everything on the team, and Colney is the IGL slash team captain. Is he the team captain?
Yeah, he is the captain.
How do you feel playing under his wing, basically as an IGL? Because I've heard that he's basically a decent IGL for recruit anyway. So how do you feel playing under his wing there?
Yeah, I like Colney a lot. He's a good friend of mine. That's the whole reason I joined was just because I like playing with him. And before season 12 started, we played a lot together. So I always enjoy playing with Colney. He's very much like whereas some people would say Noah is like a micromanager. I think Colney is kind of the opposite, where he'll kind of just give you an idea of what to do, or he'll give you some direction, and he kind of lets the players figure it out themselves, which can be nice.
I see that being a common theme between some IGLs. I will throw Kevin in there, Prodigy Toast. He seems that he's not so much of a micromanager IGL, and he kind of just lets his players do what they want necessarily. He gives some just suggestions there, but it seems like those IGLs that don't micromanage seem to go pretty far in the league in general. So
Yeah.
hopefully, with this upcoming season, some IGLs pick up some pointers and some tips, and we'll see a lot of less micromanaging there.
Well, I
I'll,
think micromanaging is fine. I think it's just dependent on the IGL style and if it fits with the players. That's really all it comes down to.
that's fair. Have you been approached by any other teams wanting to pick you up next season at all, or has there been any talk about that of you switching or leaving or any?
No, I'm already signed to my team, so nobody's coming to approach me because they see that I have a contract with the EPS already. So
Yeah,
there's not very much point.
no poaching going on there within
No, no,
CSC.
no.
Without giving away too much, what would you say you guys are working on improving for next season? Which you said you want to improve on organization skills, stuff like that. What else do you have in mind?
I mean, I think yeah, organization is essentially that's like my biggest overarching thing I want us to work on, and I think that kind of there are a lot of other smaller things that come into play with that, like having set roles or at the very least understanding what each person should be doing, talking about like executes on sites, and like going into like a little bit more like practices and VOD reviews. That would be optimal for me, but it also depends on my team's schedule. So I'll get what I can out of them.
What would you like your role in the end to be? Because you mentioned you do a little bit of everything, but would you like to be an entry, fragger, support? What would you like to do for the team?
I would like to be an opera. I've been opping a lot over the off season. I've been
Okay.
working on it a lot, and I was in the season too, and I'd always be making jokes with like MNX about how I'm the real opera on UPS, but I wasn't because he was just better than me for the most part. You suck, MNX. I'm so much better than you. And that would be my goal, but really I can rifle too. I can support. I know a ton of util, so I'm happy to fit wherever is best for me and my team. That we pick up a fucking crazy opper, I don't have to op. I don't care. So that's where I'm at.
You mentioned MNX having struggles with CS2 as an opper. With you wanting to be an opper, did you feel like CS2 changed it that much, or do you feel even better on CS2?
So it's weird because I didn't really start opping that much I wasn't hopping very much at all in CS:GO, and I only really started in CS2. So I never felt like such a big change. But there's definitely been moments, especially in like the early days of CS2, where you'd see you hit a shot and you're like, that would definitely have hit on CS:GO. And you make a joke of it if you hit like an obviously bad shot, you go CS:GO that hits. But I didn't see that change as much for the most part because I wasn't really opting then. So
Okay. Who would you like to see next season go to the finals? It would be Upsetty Spaghetti, but who would you want to face in finals there?
I don't really care who I face in the finals as long as I win. I don't care. It would be really fun to play like some people I've been playing with for a while, obviously, like super competitive, serious. That would be really fun. Obviously, the people on Frog, that would be fun. It would be fun to see them make finals again, too. I think it would be really great if Cal made it to finals. I think that would be a good story as well for the season. So,
Good, a good underdog story there from
yeah,
last season to this season. So possibly FRG and UPS match up this season, right?
who
That's what we're
knows?
that's what we're hoping for, right?
Who knows?
With Kevin taking the IGL spot last season, he took his team to finals, which is crazy, not being an IGL. So who knows what can happen next season if because I know they can't keep their full five either. So one of them will have to drop off. Who they pick up might help, might hurt. Who knows? How many seasons have you played in CSC altogether?
Played 2 seasons so far. Yeah, I started in season 11.
Season 11 when they did the recruit tier, right?
Yeah, yeah. Interestingly enough, I think there was like a TikTok video that people joined, and I never actually saw that. That's not even. I think
That's
my
not.
friend saw it, and he told me to join, but I never saw the TikTok. So
You never saw the TikTok video? Okay.
yeah,
I was one of the souls that joined with the TikTok video. It was more or less the thought of just having a five stack to play CS:GO and not necessarily a whole beer league that's going on.
yeah. I always like the getting the idea of kind of playing and getting drafted to a team and like that kind of aspect of it. I always thought was the most interesting. So
So season 11, what team did you play on?
I was drafted to Wet in season 11, and then I was cut in preseason, so I was a free agent.
Free.
I subbed around for a couple teams.
Did you have any questions about this project that's going on, the State of Recruit?
No, I think it's pretty cool.
Pretty
I like
self-explanatory.
the interviews. It's fun to watch people and how they think about the game.
Do you guys watch VOD reviews at all about with other teams or any of that stuff?
No, not for the most part. During playoffs, we watched like maybe two VODs. I watched one from Sav and we watched one from Nan. But Colney's kind of philosophy is mostly, especially in recruit, counter stratting is fine, but the most important part is really just playing with your team and trading your teammates, and everything else is kind of secondary. And that's where we lost in finals too, is we just weren't playing with each other where we were supposed to be, especially the last game. So I would have to agree with him that it can be useful for like if you know for a fact somebody's doing something every single round, you can abuse that. But unless you're challenger anti strat, it's not going to be as useful.
Do you see your team doing more VOD reviews next season? I know you just said that it's more of a secondary thing, but it's nice to have kind of in your back pocket as a last ditch effort almost. And it won't hurt to maybe just watch over a map. You don't have to
Yeah, I would.
study it.
I don't know about VOD reviewing the enemy so much. I would. I'd be willing to. But like I said, that's not my main focus. But I definitely want to VOD review our own games and figure out what we're doing wrong so we can
Okay.
improve it. That's one of my goals.
I feel like there's a you guys have the same approach to some teams and then an opposite approach where a lot of people want to counter strat. A lot of people want to watch enemy VODs, and then you guys kind of want to watch your own VODs, or you want to watch your own VODs and see where you guys can improve, which
Mhm.
is helpful to the team. Like you said, organization, playing as a team with the team, trading. Uh, it all boils down to those last kills, just trying to get over and win the round there. What were your maps for last season, and do you guys plan on changing that for next season?
We played we played Ancient a lot, but we played that so much that we got tired of it and we're trying not to play it. Our Inferno was pretty good. Our what else do we have? Our Overpass was pretty good. Vertigo, I liked Vertigo, but I don't think we ever played it. We played it once in playoffs. That's probably, oh, and Anubis. Those are probably our biggest ones. And then I'd say Mirage. That was our insta bin was Mirage because it's just kind of a boring map. I don't like playing it. But for next season, that's really just depends on how we feel. I like Inferno quite a bit now, so I might try to play more Inferno. I would play Nuke, but everybody insta bans Nuke for whatever reason. So that's kind of my thoughts. It just depends on how the team feels. I couldn't really say for sure.
When I was talking to Noah, the map thing got brought up, and I noticed that a large wave of people went to the ancient Anubis, kind of the off maps that not a whole lot of people knew, and then this season you saw a lot of it. So I was thinking maybe next season we see a mixture of both possibly, and not so much hardcore on Anubis and ancient and off maps like that. I would say go
Yeah.
back to a little puggy style.
Yeah, and our play style, I think, in retrospect, it was definitely a lot more pucky, and I think we probably could have benefited from playing on something like Mirage, but I just don't like the map, and I wasn't really tripping over it. So
Not too high on your priority list there.
yeah, like it's fine if I play a Mirage game every now and then, I'll be okay. But I just don't like having to solo queue getting Mirage 50 times in a day. It's not very enjoyable to me. So
That's fair. I guess if you have a team behind you that you can enjoy it, I guess it wouldn't be too bad there.
yeah, I mean, I'd be fine to play it at any point. So
That conducts the interview. Thank you, Dewey Fan, for interviewing with me shortly. Let me ask you a couple questions about next season and everything like that. But do you have any questions for me before we get out of here?
no, I think I'm all set.
All right. This has been Dewey Fan with UPS on the State of Recruit Inside the Mind. Thank you guys.
Bye 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 bye.